Miguel.
Hey, what's going on, Miguel? Lloyd, host of Life Little Circle Radio. What's on my face? Must be some glitter left over from Christmas. All right. Hey. So, it's the day after Christmas, kind of the day after the Christmas, because today is the 26th. It's almost done. So we said we got to get back on here because normally we're on Monday nights, and it was Christmas, so we didn't come on. Yeah, you're going to get this whole OG beard today. I ain't shaved. I ain't think about shaving. But wait till Kia comes on. Oh, I want to dance with somebody. So anyway, we're going to be talking today about some, let me see, Kanye West. I guess now he released a apology in Hebrew because he wilded out and talked about the Jewish folks last week, and now we'll talk about that. TD Jakes and this nonsense going on with TD Jakes. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, of course, that association with Diddy and all that stuff. And then Color Purple, man. Took the family to go see Color Purple today. It was amazing. Loved it. I never saw the musical, so there was a lot about it that I was surprised about. I was pleasantly surprised about with that. So, oh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat. Yeah. You did the hair push-up thing, too.
Exactly, because I know my Whitney moves. I know my Whitney moves.
You know what? I can look at you and tell you was a big Whitney Houston fan. No question at all. No doubt.
Remember the album? What's the album that she had that song with Faith and Kelly Price?
Why is Trey dancing at the door singing Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston? I'm about to pull.
Has she seen my hair?
No, she hasn't seen my hair. Come here, come look at her hair. Could y'all come look at her hair with the open? So what were you saying before I was interrupted by all this beauty walking?
Yes, Whitney. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Nippy. This is Nippy vibes. This is Nippy.
Nippy vibes.
It is giving. It is giving.
So
thank you.
And then we was checking out some videos and we got something in common. Her and Bobby Brown came on, and I think Saran was like, they did a song together. I was like, oh God, yes.
We're not even gonna go there with the young child. You got all the young children you got in your house. Man, but hey, are you and Tracy looking for an extra child? I got one to drop off for you.
No, we're good. We're good. We count. We love our children. Our children are our world. But the youngest one is now almost 11, so she's got colleges around the corner, boy. I tell you.
How was your Christmas though? Let the viewers know how your Christmas was.
Christmas was cool. And I mean, when you get to the point where, the kids pretty much just want, money and credits for their game systems and clothes, it's cool. It takes you 10, 12 minutes and then everybody's going back to their corners.
Everybody's like, so what's for breakfast? Like, what are we eating? Are we eating something?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Exactly. So then we had we had a great time with and then dinner. We had some dope food and it was pretty quiet this year. Not a lot of family around. We did the big family thing at Thanksgiving. So Christmas we were just kind of chilling. How about yours?
I'm so jealous. See, let me tell you. Christmas Eve was great. I hosted Christmas Eve for the first time at our house. We had a lot of people over. We did a white elephant. Everything was beautiful. Christmas Day, I could not wake up to open up gifts with the kids. 5 minutes in, I wanted to give my daughter up for adoption. That's where we ended up at. And listen, I think your parents should prepare you a little bit better for Christmas morning to remind you how you were for Christmas morning or just how kids are in general. My daughter got a Princess Tiana outfit, like the full get up, the crown, the scepter, the dress, the shoes. I was like, okay, let's take it off because, we don't want to get it dirty or messed up. She tried to fight me. Not like hypothetical, we're just making up things or exaggerating. No, this little child tried to fight me. And now I'm like trying to hold my ground. She's holding her ground. It was a standoff. It was 2 standoffs during the day, one for an hour and one for 30 minutes.
I don't, man. Y'all be going at it, man.
Me and her.
I'm sure. I'm about to say, no, we sitting back like, okay, they wilding. Omar sitting back like, yo, man, you get milk, I get a beer. They'll get over it in a minute. And then there's Mama Blanche.
My mother-in-law was like, just give it to her. Just give it to her to make her stop.
So Mama-in-law's there or Mother Blanche is there?
They were both here for Christmas Eve, and they both slept over for Christmas Day. And then my mother-in-law left, and then my mom is still here. But other than Leela's meltdown, it was wonderful. I really liked having the Christmas Eve party the night before because I'd never done that before. So having everybody over, all the food, desserts, and the white elephant, and white elephant with the gift exchange thing, it was really really nice. Like it was
So
nice.
we're kind of slowly, it's the holiday time, so the kids are off. We're slowly but surely introducing them to their black card. So I think we had to watch The Color Purple as a family before we took them to see.
Oh, I thought you meant you made them play spades. That's what I thought you meant
No,
by
they
the
know how to
black
play
card.
spades. They know how to play spades.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We taught them
Okay.
that recently. They know how to play spades. So there's a few, we got to think about the flicks. So some flicks you're like, are they ready for?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. At 12 and almost 11, I still have to be mindful of that. There's some stuff. We're gonna get into the Color Purple thing. Matter of fact, let's just jump into the Color Purple thing.
Yeah.
First, I'll let you set it up. 18 million, 180 or 18 million. Let me check it out because that seems like 18 seems pretty low.
I think it's 18 million. No, but it's 18 million, and the opening day was yesterday. Keep in mind, opening day has only been 24 hours, and 18 million on a holiday weekend. A non-action flick, a black-led cast. 18 million is a good showing on.
Is it? I don't know. These numbers just get skewed. But go ahead. 18 million on the first day. Color Purple did well. Nobody's going to the movies like that anymore.
No one's going to movie like this. And also keep in mind, the only movies that do well coming out on a Christmas day are action films. Marvel films, DC, all those do amazing coming out Christmas Day. Regular movies, don't nobody care. Ain't nobody gonna sit through some boring stuff I'm trying to think of the last musical on Christmas Day that ever came out that did well. But The Color Purple had an $18 million showing. I think by the time this holiday season is over, we're looking well into the 9 figures for this film. And that's good.
9 figures, that's pushing. Well, yeah. 18 million. No, yeah. So here's the thing. I had never seen the musical of The Color Purple.
Neither have I. I've only seen the regular.
All I've seen is the movie, right? So the fact that this is a full-on musical was refreshing. You kind of look at the old and look at the new, and you're looking to see what the comparisons and some of the lines that you told Hoppo to beat me, and you're just looking at how Danielle Brooks is going to do that in comparison to the original. I think Teraji P. Henson was, and you haven't seen it yet, so this.
No, you can go ahead and talk about it. It's not going to steal the joy from me. I'm fine with it.
Teraji P. Henson was great. She sung all her parts. Fantasia, the emotion that you felt with Fantasia.
I saw her table read singing, and I was like, I'm blown away.
Yeah,
I'm blown away.
It was a little bit. It was a little bit bigger, as in, obviously the casting and there's certain things you look back at The Color Purple now and you say it really was a very small cast relative. You didn't really see a lot of different people, right? So there weren't a lot of extras and things. They kind of bigged it a little bit. They put a little bit more depth into Mister's character. He pretty much matched Danny Glover's energy. Danny Glover will always be the main Mister, but I think his name is Domingo or something. I have to look up the cast.
Domingo. His name is Domingo. He did a great job.
Here's the funniest thing for the kids. We were outside of the Ready to Leave, and me and Trey looked at her and said, "What did y'all think about her? When she was, the role that they were like, her was in there." So
she played Squeak. Even I haven't seen the movie, but she played Squeak, right?
She played Squeak.
Yes.
And the thing about her, which I really love about her, is, for people who don't know, her is a young
the singer.
The
R&B singer.
Her stage name is her. She's a young girl. I don't think she might be 25 now, maybe. I don't know. She's in that range. But she is definitely has staying power. She has the ability. Her music goes across genres. It's music she's made.
26.
She's made timeless music over the years. And she fits. She really fit in that movie like she was like the younger niece or the younger, But anytime you see her, she's always got on glasses and she's got her hair out big, right? So that's kind of her thing, right? That was her thing for a few years. And so in this one, she's Squeak. She's, everybody is in this period piece, the early 1900s and everything. everybody did a great job in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
man. It really, really, but Fantasia and Danielle Brooks as Celie and
I
what's the
think we're
Oprah
looking at
character?
strong Oscar contenders.
I you know
Sophia from
I
Danielle Brooks.
I, I
But again, we're
yeah,
looking at strong award, maybe not Oscar, and I'm only saying it because Oscars can be so white, and we all know
sure,
this, and it's annoying.
absolutely.
But outside of the Oscars, we're looking at them winning a lot
They're
of
winning
awards
something.
across the board. I mean,
Yeah,
they're winning a lot, not something. They're winning a lot of awards for this
sure.
movie. They were amazing. I haven't seen it yet, but when I hear the reviews, the clips I'm trying to avoid on Twitter,
Yeah,
the fact that they've all done this on Broadway. They've done this on
yeah,
Broadway and they were
yeah.
amazing at it. We
Yeah,
are
I
looking
was
at
surprised at
people
my
who
man
just
Corey Hawkins, who played in Straight Outta Compton.
yep,
He
yep.
was singing and dancing, playing harpo, doing a great job.
Mhm.
Um, everybody in this thing, man, and it's just when you find out who plays the older Nettie, when you find out there's a as they
It's not
say
a secret. It's Sierra, guys. Let's not. It doesn't
okay,
matter.
all
It's
right,
Sierra.
whatever.
Let's.
So Sierra plays the older
I,
Nettie.
I'm not spoiling the movie, but it's Sierra.
It's
So
Sierra plays the older Nettie.
please.
Yeah. There is a scene with Whoopi Goldberg who's in there, and she gets uncredited.
I heard of yes.
Yeah, she doesn't get
She is.
credited.
She's uncredited.
She's there.
But her being there is so important. She
Yeah.
made the role
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of
Fanta-
Celie. Of Celie.
of Celie. She made the role of
right, and
Celie.
she played the doula. And so. And then having I think because I have such reverence and respect for black art, right, and black talent,
Yeah.
to see Louis Gossett Jr. In that movie, who for people who don't know Louis Gossett Jr., it's a shame. You need to go back and look at the work of the last 60
I know who
years
that is, so I'm
of
good.
Louis
Like
Gossett
he's
Jr. He was great as Mister's father, the iconic role. Not the same. His father in the movie was a little short, light skinned guy. Obviously Louis Gossett Jr. is
listen,
6 feet.
listen, Miguel is so close to spoiling this movie for everybody, so let's just
But
let's
not
stop
really.
it right now. Let's
Here's the
go
thing:
see
if
it.
you've seen Color Purple, it's Color Purple, so you know the story, right? There are a couple which I will not spoil. There are a couple nuances that they did that were a little bit different than than the movie, which I thought were some great shots. One thing about the movie originally was based somewhat. They said it was based in Atlanta, but by the way that they shot this movie, I would say it was felt more like Savannah, because they said they were on the coast of Georgia. The coast of Georgia is going to be down there towards Savannah, Georgia. So it's a great movie. Enjoy it. I'd love to get your feedback in the comments on how you felt about it, either live or later. Peoples is hanging out. What's up, Andre Sias? Hadn't seen you in a minute, my brother. Happy holidays to you and the fam, you and Blake and the kids. So I'm pretty sure they probably went to see Color Purple. But we look forward to hearing your feedback on that. But
Well, listen,
mhm,
because we're talking Color Purple, let's just go into Taraji P. Henson's
yeah,
comment about her pay.
yeah.
I have to pull it up because I pulled up another article about Taraji, but she has been not so much making the rounds because it's just this
What they
one
do? They make
interview
the
that's
rounds and
making
they're
the round.
selling the film, so they got to do all these interviews and stuff. Yeah,
Well, no, what I'm saying is that this one part of an interview is making the rounds. Not that
hmm
that she's saying this every single interview, but
sure.
she has been saying, some important things for black actresses. But I gotta be the devil's advocate because she said she almost quit acting because of unfair pay. So
hmm
her notable movies have been Hustle and Flow, Hidden Figures, and she's currently co-starring in The Color Purple.
Yep.
Please don't subscribe.
Yep.
In a recent interview, here we go. She said, I'm just so tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, being paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sister say the same thing over and over.
Yep.
You get tired. And that is her quote. And she goes on to say, listen, I've been doing this for 2 decades, and sometimes I get tired of fighting because I know what I do is bigger than me. I know that the legacy I leave will affect somebody coming up behind me. She told Nala before going on to reference other black females. And she got very emotional about this.
Yeah.
So I'll let you comment while I, promote the show, and I'll give you my comments on it.
Well, I've seen those interviews, and we know it's the same thing. People believe because actors are actors, and we see them, and that they are already ridiculously wealthy. There's a reason why it's getting to the point that people are doing commercials. Black women are everywhere, and they're selling products and everything else. And that's not just black women. So you can imagine if white actresses are having to feel like they got to supplement their income, especially with the strike having been going on, to do other things like
Yeah.
commercials and sell products and all of that. And to watch her, and I also saw another clip, an interview, where she talked about how she had to fire her whole crew because she was like, when she was playing Cookie Lyons
We're
on
going to talk about
Empire.
that. Let's keep it separate.
What?
Keep
That's
it
the same
separate.
conversation.
So I'll give my comment before we go into that.
Okay.
Tell me film Teraji has been in where she's deserved a 6-figure or higher salary. Tell me the film do you think she deserved that for?
6-figure or higher. Hidden Figures was there was a lot of money and a lot of promotion around Hidden Figures.
One, Hidden Figures, because she starred in that movie and she did an amazing job. Outside of Hidden Figures, give me another film.
Give me another film. It's not. I won't even say it's the films. I would say, first of all, Empire was massive. Empire was.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No, but
she
we're
wants
talking
to be
about
paid.
We're talking about salary. We're talking about salary. And
yes, but she wants to be paid like a Hollywood screen star. That's how she's talking about. She works so hard.
That's
exactly what she said in that interview. That's what I took from the interview.
From
she
that.
wants to be paid like a Hollywood screen star. She did Empire, and she was great as Cookie Lyons. And we'll go into what she said about her team. Yeah. I agree with her 1,000%.
Right.
But as far as her wanting to be paid this top billed actress, what has she been in outside of Empire, which is a TV show which runs differently? What movie has she been in to be top billed actor? Yes, she was in Hidden Figure. That's one movie. People keep bringing up
Baby Boy was big back in the day. It was
that was not that okay.
But
that's a cult classic.
I get that.
That wasn't a box office match. Okay.
I get that. But I think the point that she's making, the clips that I've heard, she's not so much talking about. She's talking about herself, but she's talking about black actresses as a whole, right? That a lot of these women have to work really hard. And they're not paid.
And I agree with her talking about them as a whole.
Yeah, because she's been in some ensemble. What is the Tyler Perry? Was which one was it? Or no, it was.
There was two. There's two.
So the one about the Steve Harvey book.
I Can Do Battle by Myself, and then Acrimony.
Okay, then I'm not thinking about Tyler Perry. I'm thinking about the one that which Stevie Harvey wrote the book. Think Like a Man.
Oh yes. Think Like a Man and Think Like a Man 2. Yeah, she's been in 2 ensemble cast films, and she should have gotten a good paycheck for that because a lot of people, because in those films, Teraji and Michael Ealy were the big names for that film. That's true, right? Because Gabrielle Union,
Kevin Hart, Gabrielle. It was a great ensemble cast. It was a lot of. Okay. I would say a lot of them was on the same level.
I just hate when people bring up with her as being an A-list actor. Like, she was in the Curious Case of Benjamin Button with Brad Pitt. She should have been getting this and this money. People tend to forget she was only in 5 scenes for 20 minutes of the film. Not even 20 minutes of the film. Was she important to the character's life? Yes. But as far as her screen time, no. Now, let's go into her Empire thing. She did have an article another interview, where she talks about firing her whole team because they failed her. That part, I agree 1,000%, and Miguel, I know Miguel does as well.
Absolutely.
Cookie Lyons was such a iconic character.
It was appointment viewing. You did not miss Empire week in and week out. You just did not. If it wasn't
for 5 years,
if it wasn't for Jesse Smollett blowing it for that entire cast, it would have had a better finish to that show. And there are people who have been on soap operas. My grandmother used to watch all the CBS soap operas, Young and the Restless, Guiding Light, all that stuff. If I happen past that stuff right now, I don't know any of those people's name, but some of them been on that show for 35 years, right? These people are working actors that are making great money to do something that a lot of people are not seeing. On the converse, Teraji P. Henson is a star of the black community. She just is.
And here's her quote about firing everybody. She said, what was her best career decision? Firing everybody after Cookie. Everybody had to fucking go. Where's my deal? Where's my commercials? Cookie was at the top of the fashion game. Where's my endorsements? What did you have set up for after this? That's why you haven't seen me in so long. They had nothing set up. And she's 1,000% right. We got the cast of Abbott Elementary doing Neutrogena commercials, doing All May and L'Oreal, and they're doing Target and this and that and Staples.
Yep.
Why wasn't Teraji P. Henson after Cookie? doing the skincare, the beauty brands. That would have been perfect. The beauty brands, the skincare. She could have been in Target with her red fur coat looking bougie in Target. It would have been perfect. It would have been laughable. She could have been doing all this stuff. Her team is a joke. And she should have fired them.
Well,
she was right for firing them.
and I get that as well. I think, because there's some caveats to that, because I think there's a lot. You think about Kerry Washington towards the end of Scandal, when she started doing a lot more cosmetics and stuff. The girl that was also on that
Cosmetics,
show,
Banana
right,
Republic, the whole thing.
but that show was much more palatable to the general market. I think we are now in a place now. Even Empire had to end 5 or 6 years ago. I'm just guesstimating roundabout. Is I would say
roughly,
2018, 2019. There's been a lot of change in the last 5 years. And you're seeing freaking not Sylvester Stallone, John Travolta had a whole campaign around the holidays where he's dressed up as Santa Claus selling credit cards. You would have never
remember his football commercial?
You would have never seen that 10 years ago, where A-list actors like John Travolta would be hawking credit cards. A lot has changed, and I think a lot of it has to do with why these people are striking, as in the actors and the people in that industry. And Teraji, she's right, and then Gabrielle Union has come behind. She's gone viral the last couple of days because she has a straighten face. She's had a viral moment coming behind Teraji, and she basically says, "Hey, I'm Gabrielle Union. I'm the actor and producer," and she's going through the whole thing. Yes, I'm being mistaken by all of them, all the two Reginas and blah 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 blah. Huh?
Gabrielle, no, stop. Gabrielle Union, you suck as an actress.
She does not suck as an actress. Stop. She's been doing it for
her and Michael
years.
B. Jordan.
Here you go with Michael B. Jordan. Michael over here minding his business. And here you go with Michael B. Jordan. The point is that you would think at this point, where white actresses can disappear and live in Hollywood and just pop up whenever they want, the Gabrielle Unions, the Regina Halls, the Taraji P. Hensons, them sisters, the Sanaa Lathans, they got to work. They got to stay working.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something that my mom said that made me think about it. She's like, well, it's really only 10 people in Hollywood total, 10, who are probably making the millions of dollars everybody says. Because even Matt Damon came out and said, I don't make as much money as I used to anymore. It's a scramble. I'm doing commercials. I'm doing everything. And Matt Damon won an Oscar, Good Will Hunting. That should have set him off forever and ever. No, now he's like, what show do you have for me so I can do
the Oscar stuff don't pay bills. That they don't get no checks every year for being an Oscar winner. They got to keep working.
So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of white actors, it's 10 actors who make millions of dollars on films. Everybody, you think it's more than 10?
Sure. I can name off the top of my head. You got Will, you got Rock, you got Kevin Hart, you've got Tom Cruise. There's 4. Denzel, 5.
Tom Cruise isn't making that kind of money anymore. I only know. No, he's not.
How's Tom Cruise not making that kind of money anymore?
He's not making money, and he doesn't have to because of this old Scientology setup. They actually, and again, you have to watch the documentaries about this, people donate Scientology money to keep Tom Cruise afloat when he's not making films, to make him look like he's the big star of Scientology who's always making money and making money. So he's
there's no way in the world you're going to tell me, coming off of Top Gun and the continued Mission Impossible He Never Dies series, that he ain't making $20 million.
Are they still making?
Yes. And keep in mind, the other thing that we got to keep in mind is that all of the major actors now are also getting production credit, which is part of how they make money.
I will agree with you that. So maybe Tom Cruise, but Tom Cruise, somebody said Matthew McConaughey, but Matthew McConaughey hawks everything right now. He's hawking cookware and colognes.
It's just, and so there's a lot of, and then I don't quite honestly watch enough non-black films to know, who are the big white women actresses that are out there, but I know there are plenty that are out there.
Well, let me ask you a good question. How much do you think Mahershala made for Leave the World Behind?
I have no idea what kind of checks they're cutting. I know they're cutting big checks for comedians, but I don't know about people making movies.
Do you think he made as much or close to as much as Ethan Hawke, Kevin Bacon, and Julia Roberts for that film?
No. Even though he was a major central character, he's not going, because here's the thing: we're marketers here. We're marketers, right? So when when it's all said and done, when you put it out there to America that this movie is out there, is Mahershala Ali going to be a big draw, or is it, who was it? You said Julia Roberts. Was it Julia Roberts? Who was in
It
the
was
movie?
Julia Roberts, Ethan
Ethan
Hawke, and
Hawke.
Kevin Bacon.
People who we've been following since the 1980s. So now,
When his hair was
when
fly.
that hair was exactly. So they are worth more to the film than Mahershala. I messed up his name.
Mahershala
Ali. I know his last name was Ali. I got to anyway. Point being, he ain't as big as they are. So if they make $5 million a piece, $10 million a piece, and he makes $1 million, I'm not mad at that because he is really. Because I want to say he's the one that's playing Blade. I believe he's playing Blade, right?
He is.
Uh-huh.
And I love him for playing Blade because originally when they signed him up for Blade, they had this whole script.
Yeah.
And the writer slowly changed it into this woman empowerment film where Blade almost seemed like a secondary character. And he was like, I'm dropping out of this film. Find somebody else. I'm not going to do this. Blade is a main character. And then they changed the script back. And I'm like, listen,
some of that
this
stuff
is a whole secondary
sense,
issue to talk about. And I don't want to get into it. Mm-hmm. I'm a woman. I don't want to see any more women empowerment action flicks. I'm sorry. I like the new Miss Marvel mill or the Marvel Miss Marvel and the Marvel and thems. I don't want to see it. That's not what I want in my superheroes. Do I love a female character? I love Captain Marvel. I love the Wasp. Even though everybody hated Gwyneth Paltrow in an Iron Man costume, I like that as well. I love Valkyrie. I love Harley Quinn. But when you're making a whole movie about me being a strong woman and 3 women, I'm like, I don't want to go see that. I'll wait till it come on HBO Max or Netflix. I don't want to see it. And I don't feel bad about that.
Yeah,
do you agree?
No, I absolutely agree, but it's a dangerous thing for me to agree with, right? Because then women want to attack you. Some of this stuff is just like, okay, what's her name? Shuri being Black Panther. She's all of a sudden 100 pounds soaking wet.
I hated that. And Omar will tell you,
And and then of course the response that, well, it's all fake, it's all superhero stuff. I get it, guys, I really do, but you do have to have some muscles and some tight pajamas in order to sell some of these films, man. That's just part of the deal. You want to see some fighting, you want to see some stuff, the whole thing with
all the people to be Black Panther, Nakia would have been great. The general, she would have been great. The muscles, the training, the skill, everything would have been great. Instead, let's put this ballerina in Black Panther's costume and give her some cornrows, and now she's an action hero.
Now she's tough.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and then it's funny. I've seen some AI generated stuff around Damson. What's my man Damson Idris being the grown up Black Panther, because if they can. And here's the thing: we have not talked since Jonathan Majors, right?
Oh.
Right. So Damson Idris, who played Franklin Saint on what's the show we just got finished watching? Anyway,
Snowfall.
So fast forward, get this son grown up. Let's go ahead, bounce forward 15, 20 years, and now we got to get the new Black Panther in there. And it'd be interesting to see how that goes, because this whole situation, as we bounce it around, this whole situation with what they're going to do with this next MCU and Jonathan Majors being cut out of all of this stuff is just going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I think we did talk about it last week, but there's no way you can't replace Jonathan Majors as Kang. He was too great. He's already been in the entire Loki series as Kang. I know you watched it. You weren't a huge fan. I get it. He was in the entire Ant-Man series you didn't like, but they're all those movies were not the best
too much
because they're
content.
building up.
You're talking about 2 movies and a whole series of him.
But yeah, it's 2 movies. It's building up to the bigger arc of Kang. You can't replace him. They could try, but again, there's only maybe 2 people I can think of that can replace Jonathan Majors where no one would really notice. Outside of that, it's like almost like, oh, Kang is dead. Now we have a new villain. Figure out who that villain's going to be.
No,
I feel like Marvel really messed themselves up for some misdemeanors. These are misdemeanors. They're not. They weren't.
Yeah, they absolutely, and that's the strange part about it is that. So, anyway, man, this Hollywood, Black folks in Hollywood, man, it's such a tenuous relationship. They tried to stir up some beef between Teraji and Oprah about this pay thing. I don't, man. All I know is that circling, putting a bow on this thing, I thoroughly enjoyed The Color Purple and the ensemble cast and seeing all of these beautiful
I'm
black
gonna
folk.
take Mama Blanche. I'm gonna take Mama Blanche probably
Yeah,
Friday. Maybe we'll do dinner and a movie, and I can go take her so we can go see it. Because
yeah.
Omar has never seen the original. And for those who have never seen the show before, my husband is not black. My husband is not even
I was
white.
going to say he gets a
My
pass. He gets a pass. That's not even a beef. Not
my
a beef
husband
for
is
him.
Guyanese Indian,
Yeah.
and Color Purple was never on their repertoire to
No,
watch, so he's
no,
never seen it.
no.
So I have to get him to
I've
sit
never
down
seen
and watch
Schindler's
it.
List, so it is what it is. There's a whole lot of films that are culturally that I'm just like, no, I've never seen that. No attention.
There's a couple of Indian films I feel like you and your family would like. I got to put y'all on some game. But anyway,
No,
do we want to
I love
go
How to Be. Was it How to Be a Millionaire? What was the one? What they used How to Be a
Slumdog
Millionaire?
Millionaire?
I love that movie. That movie was amazing. Amazing.
Padmavati is my favorite Indian movie. It came out a couple of years ago, and I remember when it first came out on Prime because they weren't showing it in every theater because it's an Indian movie. They only showed it in New York because there's a huge Indian population there.
Sure.
But when it came on Prime, my husband's grandparents, because they've gone to glory now. Well, not glory for them. They've gone to the afterlife. Whatever. They came here to watch that movie, and we sat here and we ate popcorn and we watched the whole movie, and it was such a good story and dancing and music. And then I remember them. I'm not gonna cry. I remember them getting in their car when they were still able to drive. And we asked them where they were going. So I'm like, are you guys going straight home? No. I'm like, where are you guys going? We're going to McDonald's because they love French fries and hamburgers. They were like stopping at McDonald's on their way home. So that's like one of those
sweet. That's super sweet.
Sweet memories. So just for the show's sake, let's get back on track. Are we going TD Jakes or you want to go funny? Where do you? Should we
let's go TD
now?
Jakes. There's the whole conversation that's been going on around. Go ahead, set that up for those who you don't know what's going on.
So the illustrious Reverend TD Jakes has actually been in some serious drama over the past, I want to say 5 days, Miguel, about 5 days, last Thursday to now. He actually was accused, and people are saying that he has been actively participating. Sorry, the bartender came in. Has been an active participant and attendee of P. Diddy's parties that came out in Cassie's information, saying that he's a quote unquote power bottom. I am not going to go into what a power bottom is. No one needs to know. But there's been a lot of descriptions of how he's been at these parties, how he has been with underage young men, maybe not so much underage, but at least 16, 17, 18 young men. He has been at several of these parties. Him and Diddy are close. There's been some deep fakes of him doing inappropriate things, some that you can tell are deep fakes. And he addressed it on Christmas Day. Well, sort of addressed it. He said that if you come on this live to see me, talk about the vicious rumors, I'm not going to address it. His spokesperson came out and called the videos deep fakes and distortions of words, and went on to say there is much more important work to be done to create a better world. The spokesperson added, the Bible teaches us the blah, 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 who cares? So when you lead with the Bible, it always makes me nervous.
Why?
Let me tell you.
He's a preacher. Go ahead.
That's great. Me and Miguel have been in marketing and advertising PR for a very long time. Do I believe everything? No. But I do I believe there's a kernel of truth in this? Yes, I do.
Why?
Because a lot of people are saying that this information came from Cassie's documents. Cassie has not lied about a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff has been corroborated. So why would she lie about this? Why would she put this information in her documents if it's not true? So when she hasn't lied about when she hasn't really made up anything else, what would this? She's going to take this very prominent black pastor and throw it into her information, just go, yeah, Absolutely. This sounds great. Why not? Does that make any sense?
It does, because he's the most popular black pastor in the country. And it's easy. It's a layup. Here's the thing. Here's how I feel about this. Let me.
But the layup for who?
It's a layup to get attention. Here's the thing.
But she had attention already.
She getting more. First of all, who gives a rat's behind what Cassie has been doing for the last 5 years or 10 years? 10 years of her life.
That I agree with you. Nobody gives a damn.
As soon as she got this deal, she's already working on an album with Ryan Leslie. the truth that a lot of people say that this is all about her getting out of her 10 album deal with Diddy because Diddy had put her on the shelf, which he's known for doing. Here's my take on this thing with TD Jakes. And here's what we know because we worked in this industry and we worked. TD Jakes' show is on Revolt TV. Okay.
Yes.
So
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. Sunday morning broadcast. The only religious programming that's on Revolt TV is TD Jakes. TD Jakes and Diddy's relationship has not been hidden. People have known about that for years. They've made public appearances for years.
You're right.
That's not a surprise. So now you're telling me that because he appeared at a party at Diddy's house, all of a sudden he's a power bottom. That's where I get to that point. I'm like, okay, you guys ain't got nothing else to freaking talk about. Because when it's all said and done, whatever that man is doing in his bedroom, we don't know. We have no idea. And just because he's at a party with somebody he's doing business with which is Diddy, and having him broadcast his program, it's just like anything else. How many of you guys out there went to Christmas parties this year? He was like, oh, hell. All right, I got to go to this party because my client has invited me and I need to go out here and show my face and make an appearance. For all we know, it was that. It was like, okay, Diddy, going to Diddy's house.
No.
I don't.
No,
here's
Miguel,
the thing.
no.
We don't.
No.
Yes, because none of this stuff is substantiated. All of this stuff is the result of the internet saying, I got this bone, I'm going to run with it. This stuff doesn't, we'll never know what happened in those situations. No. And this is the groomer reel and the gossip
Wait a
reel
minute.
that's
Wait a
running with this
minute.
stuff.
You are a prominent Black minister.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you attending any party with P. Diddy after the sun goes down?
I just said why.
But your integrity is worth more than that.
We don't know if that man was there till the sun came up. Come on now, stop. That's not what
I just said. That's not what I said.
What did you just say?
What I said was, why are you at any party with Diddy after the sun goes down? Once the lights get dark. It's like, you need to come home when the street lights come on. I feel like with any prominent pastor.
You're a grown-ass man. If TD Jakes want to be at a party because there's some
But Diddy is a scumbag. Diddy is a scumbag. We've known that for you. Even admitted on a couple of shows ago that Diddy is a.
You realize how many scumbags people? Diddy's a scumbag that was before all this hit was considered a billionaire, and so
I am a former woman who used to date a lot of athletes and went about her business. I don't associate with scumbags. When my life turned to a certain point, when I got married to this man out here, all that ended. You too. When you married Tracy, did all that scumbag behavior go out the window?
First of all, I didn't have a lot of scumbag behavior before
I didn't mean to say it like that, but you know what I meant.
My point is that this is big business, right? The relationships that TD Jakes has with the Diddys and Deion Sanders of the world and the Emmitt Smiths of the world really attract and help his ministry. Him going to Diddy and getting his program on Diddy's network probably really helped his ministry. Him associating with him. Now, I'm not making any excuse for TD Jakes, but I'm telling you, I don't believe none of this. To me, it's like, why should I? Like, why should I?
Did you believe anything that happened about Bishop Eddie Long?
Yeah, because we were in the business and we knew Bishop Eddie Long was a client of ours. Bishop Eddie Long
I know
was a
that. I know
ours.
that we knew.
So we knew.
No,
so you're
don't
talking
ask no
about,
questions, y'all. But yes, we knew.
Right. Yes. That didn't surprise me about Bishop Eddie Long because I had inside information about what was going on. This stuff with Jakes, I have no inside information. All I know is what some blogger done put out there in the streets that folks done ran with. And then I know the history. So I'm juxtaposing some random blogger and TD Jakes who's been doing this for 30 years in the public eye. I'm going to give him a little bit more grace than just saying I'm going to run with that joint. That's just me.
What I will say is I will give him a little bit of grace. But again, I believe there's a kernel of truth to everything. Do I believe Bishop Eddie Long at some point in his life has had an inappropriate relationship with a man? I will say, yeah, that maybe happened. Who cares? Now, do I think he's out here going to Diddy's parties 24/7? They're trying to put him on Epstein Island.
You're not talking about Bad Street.
Jakes, yeah, I'm sorry.
Jakes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
They're trying to put TD Jakes on Epstein Island. I don't believe that. They're trying to make it seem like he's a pedophile. I don't believe that. Do I believe Do I believe that TD Jakes has had sex with a man, I kind of do. I do. I honestly believe that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that as a grown man. I don't think putting the
But
pedophile label on it.
that's the part that it's like we're there in our society now. We always gotta have the caveat. I don't see anything wrong with that. I have more concern about this leader of this ministry, this married man that they're now saying has had these sexual relations while he's in his marriage with his wife. All this about what he does in his own private life, to me, is like it's really none of our business when it's all
Okay,
said
cool.
and
How'd
done.
you feel about Jamal Bryant?
You know how I feel about Jamal Bryant. Jamal Bryant is running around here. He loves women, but he's doesn't.
A hoe.
But he's still. But see, here's the issue, and it's something that we'll all probably always disagree on. I watch the work. I put the work over here, and
I agree with you.
and I'm talking about right now, as we speak. You know, Jamal Bryant has a whole opened up a low income clinic on his property at the church here in Stonecrest.
I think we're having two separate conversations. I think Jamal Bryant is a hoe. Do I think he does good work? Yes, I absolutely
Jamal
do. I
Bryant
think he's
is a
doing
single
what he needs
man.
to do.
He's a single man, so he can pretty much do what he wants.
So hoeing as a pastor is okay?
I first of all, I don't. That's such a liberal designation. He's a hoe. I don't know who he's sleeping with.
You call me no liberal on this podcast. He out here having babies at a wedding.
That was pretty much a liberal position.
That was a conservative position. He's out here having babies out of wedlock on his wife and having babies out of wedlock after he got divorced. That's
how long
behavior.
him and Giselle been apart? They've been apart how long?
10 years. 10 years. 10 years.
So
anyway,
in those 10 years
I don't have a
doesn't matter
problem.
what he's doing. In those 10 years since,
Let me. It doesn't matter. No, I think it does matter. I was gonna lie and say it doesn't matter. It does matter. Again, we are looking for our ministers. Do I think Jamal should be able to date? Absolutely. Do I think he should be able to date one woman at a time without knocking one of them up or having someone who's so drama filled she's about to put it all on social media? Yes, I think that is crazy asshole behavior. When it comes to TD Jakes, I think his personal life being blasted out there is completely wrong. Like I said, I don't believe he's out here doing inappropriate stuff, meaning pedophilia or coercing people or Epstein. I don't think any of that. I don't like that he got wrapped up into the whole Diddy Cassie thing, but I believe that there's a part of his lifestyle that he does have that he just didn't want out there. Those are different. I don't think TD Jakes is a bad guy. I think he's a good father. I think the Potter's House is an amazing thing. TD Jakes Incorporate is either Inc. or Enterprise or something. There's a lot of great work.
Yep.
But I do believe that he's had sex with maybe a couple of men before, and that's okay. I do not think he should be throwing out there like I said, them calling him a pedophile. I do not think Pastor TD Jakes is a pedophile.
That's the slippery slope.
I don't think he's coercing people.
That's the slippery slope. The slippery slope.
Okay.
The slippery slope is when people get out there and start spreading this type of stuff. They run with it, and like I've said in different conversations, the truth doesn't matter anymore on social media. It doesn't matter. Because once it starts and rolls downhill and apologies can be issued and all this type of nonsense, Jakes did what he did. He came out in his pulpit this week at the church service and said, hey, this is about as far as I'm going to address it. And he had to hold back tears and he has to deal with his own personal demons. But this nonsense, man, I just sit back and said, I don't care. I just don't. And the fact that so many people care and social media runs with this nonsense, and this is such an industry right now, it's really crazy. All right. We got a few minutes left. We have not talked about what?
Simone Biles. We got to go there.
Simone Biles, and we got to talk about Simone Biles, and we have to talk about. We didn't talk about Kanye yet either. Let's talk about Kanye for Simone Biles. We can wrap up.
It's Hanukkah. I don't know if I want to talk about Hanukkah.
No, we got it. So I'm on social media, and all of a sudden I see this post from Kanye West, and it's in Hebrew. I'm like, oh gracious! Now what has he done? So I got to slide through and see, and so he's written this whole apology. Like if I'm of the Jewish community, I'm like, man, fuck your apology. I'm tired of your apologies, man. You, bruh. I'm done. I'm done, man. You keep coming back and forth 1 minute, and you want to do more deals, and then you want to come out here and wild out, and people trying to calm you down in the middle of your discussion. You're like, nah, shut up. I'm gonna finish this up. Like, what is your point, Ye? I don't, what is your point? But what's your take on the Kanye West joint?
Kanye West hates Jewish people. He hates Jewish people. He is anti-Semitic. All the Jewish people in the world, the Jewish delegation, you're trying to figure out what anti-Semitism is. It is just Kanye West. It's not the rest of the black people. It's just Kanye West. And the reason why I say that is because this is not his first angry rant where he had too much Manischewitz and he's out here just yelling at and the Jews and this and vodka. He just got too drunk and now he's saying this. This is his third or fourth rant where he has said disgusting, inappropriate things that he should not be saying. And every time he says disgusting, inappropriate things, 3 days pass, he apologized. Discussing inappropriate things about Jewish people, 3 days pass, apology. It's like some weird. It's like when Jesus died and 3 days back he came risen. This is what Kanye is doing. It's annoying to me.
Yeah.
He hates Jewish people. Don't accept his apology. He hates you. He hates you. Listen to the vitriol from his last speech. He was all like, "Oh, the Jewish people are ruining this and Hitler that." Like, are you serious? Like,
whatever business dealings he has going on, that it happens to be Jewish folks in the room that are messing these business deals up, bro. You need to just sit back and turn the cameras off. Don't let nobody pop no camera in front, no iPhone in front of you, and just go sit it out, homeboy, because it's just ridiculous. I saw another clip with Cameron, when Cameron was like, he only acts crazy when it's convenient. You're like, yeah, man, sure, every time I see him, he cool. Yeah, he crazy if he want to be crazy.
But let me tell you what I think this is. I feel like he does these rants, and then Kim comes back and is like, let me fucking tell you one thing. What you're not going to do with my daughter in the room, Kim Kardashian, with my daughter in the room, is spew all of this stuff. I have business dealings. I don't want my daughter saying this. She's doing what a mom would do, like what any mother would do. Like, you're not going to, or you will never see any of these kids again. Think I'm playing with you.
No, he is skating on thin ice. And I know part of the emotional and episodes he has may have something to do with his relationship with his kids. I get it to a degree. But this brother has got to tighten it up, man. But at this point, I don't think anybody has a handle on Kanye, or Kanye is going to do what Kanye going to do. And somehow it makes him wealthy. And I also heard something recently. I think it was on the Breakfast Club. We talking about he was the richest black man in America. On what planet, when you got Robert Smith out here making the type of money that he's making, you feel like you the richest? You got, man, stop.
Isn't there a black billionaire who's re-entering negotiations to buy BET and VH1?
That's
what's his name?
Why do
I can't think of his name either.
Byron Allen. Byron Allen is, but Byron Allen is probably not as wealthy as them. But Robert F. Smith, who's a billionaire in the financial space, he's worth probably $3 to $4 billion. But it's so wild when you think about, we love the Robert Smiths and the Oprahs and the LeBrons and the Jay-Z's and all of them, and those, it's such a short list of black billionaires, and it's still white folks that are 5 times richer than those folks, and we sit up here. That's why they stay in the conversation. People that we couldn't name them in the lineup. All right, before we go, Simone Biles. I don't know why I went to Gabrielle. Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens. Jonathan Owens is a football player. Go ahead, let's set that up, and then we can ready to get out of here.
So Jonathan Owens did a fun interview with, I don't even know the podcast name. I'm sorry, I don't know the name. And they were just talking about how him and Simone Biles met. And he made it very clear. He was like, hey, I had never watched gymnastics. I had never seen her perform before. Mm-hmm. They got on the celebrity app. It's a celebrity dating app. They both got on the app. She liked him. He liked her. And then she messaged a couple times. He was like, oh, I'll just wait on it, this and that. Mm-hmm. He went through the whole thing. And the guys could jokingly say, so wait, you were playing hard to get, so you were the catch? He's like, oh, I always feel like the man is a catch. And they were having this fun banter. Simone Biles, his wife, is right next to him. So that clip goes viral. And people are just like, we didn't even know what your name was. Like, who are you? And I felt bad for Jonathan Owens because I think he was just joking around with the podcast. Right. His wife is there. He just play around.
Right.
And people really went after him like, we don't know who you are. You're Simone Biles' husband. But in reality, he's Simone Biles' husband. Who is he outside of being married to her?
He's a professional football player. Plays for the Green Bay Packers.
So what? Who cares? Would he be as famous as he was without her?
Would he be famous? I don't think this is about being famous to the degree. I think once of all, it was a joke. Secondly, here's the thing, black women, newsflash. Just because you don't know who they are doesn't mean a lot of folks don't know who they are. There's a market for everything and everybody. I love sports. I love black excellence. So I know who Simone Biles is. Simone Biles could walk down the street right now, especially being a 5 foot barely woman and having on a hoodie, and a ton of people would know who the world she is. And that's okay.
I would know exactly who she was.
You would know who she is. My point is that people who love
White
the Green
people
Bay
would
Packers
know who she was too.
No,
Stop.
no. I'm not saying that Simone Biles is not more famous than Jonathan Owens.
Stop.
I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that it don't matter. Jonathan Owens is somebody. He's a professional football player. And
Well, no, people
married
aren't
to Simone
saying that.
Biles.
People aren't saying he's not talented. People aren't saying he's not important. I think what people are saying is, sir, you made the joke, but we really don't know you outside of being her husband. We don't know you. You made that joke like you were the famous athlete who met the famous Olympian. Like Alexis Ohanian, who married Venus. No, not Venus. Serena. Which one's the younger one? Serena.
Right.
So Serena, thank you for the crickets, because I was the same way too. Serena married a billionaire.
Right.
Eve married a billionaire.
Don't know who he is.
We don't know who these guys are, but those
Correct.
two guys who are billionaires that never make this comment. The black guy who's not a billionaire, who's semi-millionaire.
But you started your comment off by saying he probably was joking. More than likely, he was joking. He probably was just like, "Of course, I'm the catch." Well, he knows he knows people. This woman about to.
Would you say that about Tracy? That you were the catch?
No, but she would. But that's the fun part, and here's what I love about it. Simone Biles posted a day or two later. It was a little cute kid in some pigtails, and basically with the caption, "Are y'all done yet?" Like y'all not messing up my marriage because y'all out here by yourselves acting raggedy and all this type of stuff. We're having fun over here. Y'all go live y'all lives over there on them internet streets. We moving on.
And that's why I don't care. I think it's great that Simone stuck up for her husband. And when they played that clip on the Neighborhood Talk and all those gossipy sites, no one watched it. They just heard the commentary. I clicked play on the video and saw her laughing off to the side. I was like, but she's in the video.
Right. So, it ain't like he just talking about her to the side. Y'all, you got the wifey stirred up. I ain't talking bad about your Packers. I ain't got no problem with your Packers.
Tracy, please go watch The Gilded Age so that we can talk about the fashion. HBO Max.
I pulled it up and nothing about the I was like, do we want to watch this?
Do you like history?
I do.
It's if you like history, it's so up your alley. It's so historically accurate. And for Tracy, the fashion, the storyline is great. My brother, my hardcore man brother, loves football, soccer, hates female shows, would call me and my mom, did you watch the last episode of The Gilded Age? We have to talk about it.
We're trying, so we might go pull it up because right now we like I said, we got our ratchet that we with Kanan, but we're trying to get through Billions right now. It took us forever.
I had to stop.
It took us forever to get through the first season. It was like that's only the first season. I think it's like 5 or 6 seasons of Billions. I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna.
The same thing with Succession. Did you guys get through Succession?
No. I started after 2 or 3 episodes. It's something because it's like they're making all this drama out of white men who just hate each other.
Omar and I got through 5 episodes before we were like, ooh, look, something shiny, and we were off to something else. We could not do it.
So. Yeah, no, we're trying. It's not bad, but it ain't like, ooh, we got to run to the TV to watch this. All right, so I would
recommend, before you guys get off, I would recommend you watch Dr. Death Season 2 on Peacock. If you watch Season 1, it's a very good, it's about Dr. Macarini. It's okay. Don't worry. Bye, guys.
Dr. Death, is that like anyway, did we talk about, was it Leave the World Behind or whatever? Did we talk about that last week?
We did minimally. Did you guys finally, but you hadn't watched it yet. Did you watch it?
We did watch it. We watched it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we watched it.
What do you think? Okay, I'm in it.
Before we get about it, I get it why the ending was the way that it was, right?
Okay.
What I love, first of all, I didn't know Barack Obama and Michelle Obama were executive producers for this thing, right?
I didn't either.
Yeah. So when I said, oh, okay, so this, because I remember they got that Netflix deal. Here's the thing for folks, it's been 2-3 weeks you ain't watched it. Well, I'm about to spoil a little bit of it, not much. All of the Boogeyman music was part of the bait and switch. Okay, because that type of music and that type of it was always just set up on who's coming around the corner. Who in reality it wasn't about that. It was about the fact that the boogeyman is in these phones. The boogeyman is, bottom line is, if someone cuts off our communication, folks gonna lose their daggone minds.
Did you notice the artwork in the film?
No.
So, and this is a spoiler, but even Miguel, you gotta go back and watch it. The artwork changes throughout the film. It goes from, in the living room scene, the very first scene, when the black people, Mahershala and his daughter, meet Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke. It looks like 3 KKK members. As the film goes on, it morphs into it just being black dots, and there's nothing there, nothing else to be scary about. The ocean scene that she thought was so relaxing behind the bed goes from relaxing ocean and beach to being a turmoil wave by the end of the film. So you have to watch
Interesting.
different artwork pieces. Like,
No, that's
I
interesting.
didn't. I had to go back and watch it to realize, wow, I'm blown away.
And then the ending to me, and I'll just leave it at this, is that it made sense because of her enjoyment was when she went back analog and went away from digital. And that was
And that, and the fact that her family didn't give a damn about her. Like, I get everyone's like, she's lost. Where is she? But she told y'all earlier, like, listen, I'm tired of waiting on y'all to figure out what's going on. I'm about to go find what I want to go do and be happy. Because I'm not waiting on y'all.
So you guys got a week. You know, I know a lot of y'all chilling right now. You taking vacations right now before the first of the year. I'm just telling you right now, if you come in there with this huge expectation of how this movie's going to end, and I know you've already heard about it, don't worry about the ending. Enjoy the film, and move on. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all, man, hanging out with us. And
Happy New Year. We'll see you guys next year.
Happy New Year. Peace.